What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Brian's Custom Auto YouTube channel. I'm your host, Brian. And we got something different on the lift today. It's not a customer project, it's one of mine. But we're going to do a little bit of something to it. We got 26 feet of that bad boy up here. So, yeah, it's time to get a little bit more work done on it. Still ain't got no brakes. This car ain't had brakes but one time since I owned it. That's been over a year. So, let's look into it. For those of you who don't know, this is my 1966 Mercury Monterey or Montclair. Title's not real specific there. But, yeah, as you can see, I've got it all the way up on the lift here, and it's still, the wheels are on, but the tail still sticks out of the shop. Got some bad body stuff going on here with it, which the metal under it's good. It's somebody done some crappy, yeah. So we're gonna have to fix that. Like, yeah. It's like they put fiberglass on it or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll fix that. Not a big deal. We got to pull the gas tank out of this thing because somebody dented the crap out of it with a forklift or something. Right there. This is pretty much the worst spot of the rust on it back here. But, I mean, it's pretty solid. Oh, I see. They hit that corner right there with the forklift right here and ripped it and then hit the gas tank. So, yeah. And it leaks out somewhere from right up in here, but that sounds pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie. Muffler's completely rusted out, but for some reason it's still not loud. But other than surface rust, it really isn't horrible, okay? Matter of fact, why is there an exhaust hanger on this side? Nah. Who knows? Anyway, it's not horrible. Yes, it's got some rust, but look at that. You just don't see stuff like this anymore, guys. Who put chrome trim on the bottom side, you know? Anyway, floorboard here. This is the worst part of the floorboard, is right there, which is the back floorboard, and a little bit under the seat right there, okay? Still got the factory grommets in it. We've got some, that's actually the fuel line, hard plastic. Brake line right there that's been attached to a dozen times. We've got a weird 3-link rear end, a rusted out muffler. Passenger side has one little spot in it over there I see, but nothing major. Let's see, what else you want to know? Yeah. We have a, looks like a C, well no, it's not a C4 or C6 because it's the Merco-Matic with a transmission leak on it. I don't know if that's coming from the pan or what. Anyhow, let's crawl up under here a little bit. Oh! Now, for those of you who do not know, this car has a 410 cubic inch in it. There's the little doodad there. That's your vacuum operator for your transmission shift. But guys, this car is pretty much all here. Like, it's not bad. It looks a little rough, but I promise it's not bad. Okay? We got 4-wheel drum brakes on her. Yeah. But we need to figure out what's going on with that because they're vacuum assisted drum brakes. Yeah. The body is as straight as you could get, you know. Like, when you look down that side, you see no dents, no blemishes. Paint's a little rough. We're missing a couple things like a lens here and this guy here. That side over there, everything's in it. We're missing a little bit of chrome trim around in a couple places. but nothing too major. Got a nice solid chrome rear bumper that has some surface rust. This guy here's rusted through. But what I know is I can order that. This dent here, for long-time viewers know, this was done by my little girl when she pulled it out of gear over there where the Camaro is and hit the tree with it and pushed that in. But look, you can still see shine on that metal under there. So, they did fiberglass it. They put fiberglass over that for some reason. Huh. We'll take care of that. Again, with the chrome trim down here on the bottom for some reason. I like it. So, for those of you who do not know, look, I mean, it's, guys, this car is nice for what it is. A little bit of Ratatouille, more of that chrome. One rip in the headliner, which is actually a seam busted loose, and then we're missing the trim around the windshield on that side and across the top. Got a chrome mirror up there, and all this is factory stuff. If you'll notice, here, I'll open this back door for you youngsters who don't know what you're looking at here, but you'll notice there's not a B-pillar in this car. This is what you call a hard top, which means when you roll all 4 windows down, there's no B-pillar in your way. It's called an open air car. Now, look at how thick that door is. Now you see why they used the Ford products in 1966 for the presidents? Look how thick that is. Now, I've never pulled a door panel off this car, so I don't know what's behind it. What I can tell you is everything works. Oh. Show you how good these doors shut, guys. I mean, this car is tight. This car is tight. And again, with sidelines, look how straight it is. Is it the prettiest car in the world? Absolutely not. I know it's not. But you know what it is? It's extremely comfortable. It is extremely comfortable. This is what me and my wife want to take on Route 66. By the way, all the lights work. The tail lights work. The backup lights work. All 4 of the headlights work. Yes. So, I got it up on the lift because we need to raise it up so I can figure out what's going on with the brakes. Because we have brake issues big time. If I didn't have brake issues with this car, it could be being driven, guys. Although I do have a boat tank in the rear and carburetor issues, but it could be being driven. So, I pulled it up here to see if I could even get it on my lift, which I can. Actually, I have a couple feet to spare up there in the front. Well, about 1.5 feet spare in the front. And if I didn't have that cover up there, which I'll figure that out too, we could go all the way up with the car. So, yeah, there's that. So anyway, I'm gonna start pulling some wheels off. Well, actually, I don't even need to pull the wheels off. I need to open up the bleeders and start sucking some brake fluid in and make sure the brand new master cylinder is full. And yeah, let's see if we can get the brakes full of fluid. Yeah, let's try that. All right, so we done got the back wheels off and used the suction tool to bleed them. And we're gonna go on to something else here, but you know what? I just had to take a minute to talk to you guys. I know I do a lot of talking, but this is kind of important. This is very important, okay? So, of course, today's Sunday, and my wife and I go to church every Sunday. And we go to Grace Fellowship Church in Johnson City, Tennessee. And Preacher Matt is just amazing. He must have knew what I've been going through for the past couple of weeks, because he preached directly to me today, whether he realizes it or not. So, and if any of y'all are curious as to how Preacher Matt preaches, you can check him out at GFC Now on YouTube, and you can find the shorts, you can find the full length service and all that. It's really good. Anyway, but I just want to say, you know, all the glory, everything we have going on here, all the work I get, all of it is only because of God. And I'm thankful for that. Now, thank you, Jesus, for all your help. moving on, you got to check your rear end. Because if I don't check that when we hit Route 66, then, you know, we're going to be praying another way. So let's check that, see what we got going on in there. Guys, on these old cars, you always have to check your rear end. Sleeper Dude says it all the time. Check your rear end, okay? So let's do that. I am not sure what size socket that is, but we're going to get this big old cratchet wrench on here. Give it one more good tween. I'll give it one more good tween. There we go. I'm pretty sure this is a 9-inch, guys. I'm not 100% positive. I'm not a Ford guru. Okay, so from what I can see in there, let me see. I don't know if you guys can see in there or not. Now I'm not going to get the camera, but from what I can see, looks pretty decent in there. Looks black. Let's see if we got any fluid in it. Oh, yeah, we're good. Shoot. It don't smell that bad. It smells like old dinosaurs. Like maybe that was put in there maybe between the 70s and 80s. I don't know. It's just a guess. The car was parked in 93 and not run after that. That was the last registration on it. But that's all you need. You typically want it to run out of that hole just a little bit, or at least stick your finger in and be able to touch it like I just did. That's good enough for right now. I know it's not running away. I know my axle seals aren't leaking or anything like that. So, just snug that back on there. I might have checked it the last time I had it up on the jack, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we need to make sure we move all our stuff. Because every one of these bleeders has a different size valve on it. Oh, see, there's the suction tool that we need to move, and the impact we need to move. We'll lay it down. And the reason you want to move all that is because, again, guys, this car sets low. I just slung brake fluid all over myself. Anyway. Oh, okay, I don't have the safety set on that, so let's pop that guy up. There we go. Guys, this part's pretty cool. I'll show you. It's self-lowering right now. And if you'll watch it, when it gets to a certain pressure, it'll kick that foot switch the rest of the way up on its own. Just watch it. How did I say it ain't gonna do it, is it? Oh, man. Anyway, we'll just stop it. Because I got to move that up to the front and raise the front up. All right, we didn't put the hubcaps back on yet, but we do got the... Oh, let's go up here and check the fluid right quick. Still just below the top there. Let's get my fluid. It'd be nice if Red Bull sponsored me as much as I drink of this stuff. Okay, now move the ladder out of the way here. Arriba! Oh, beautiful-ish. All right, now let me pop these hubcaps and get these wheels guys off. And I don't know how we manage this, but this one's a 10 millimeter. Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to have both hands. We got that broke loose. Let's get our suction tool and the air hose. Okay, we got one. Where's the other? Now, where did I put the suction tool at, guys? Oh, there it is, over there. Hang our air hose there. Get our suction tool here. All right. And guys, there is a specific way you have to do this. Okay? You want to start in the rear, especially on these single pop master cylinder types. But you want to start in the rear. See, that one's already pulling some fluid, but I love when stuff just works so good. All right, let's snug her back up. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to have both hands. All right, well, overlook the noise in the background because it's hot. We bring the tripod out here so that way I can show you as best I can what I've got going on here. We're gonna pull this gas tank out of this car. Now, old cars are pretty simple. You got two bolts, okay? These are from 1966, so they're good and rusty. So I've got my bolt rebuild kit there, and I've got this one somewhat loosened up. It's only 9/16, but let's see what we can do here. All right. Figure out which one it is. See, that looks like a kind of a 4 thread. Kind of hard to do anything when you ain't got fingernails, right? That's it, I think. Too strong. That really isn't doing a whole lot, but kind of doing something. Crap. That's not the right threads anyway, guys. So you know what? We're just gonna bulldog it. If it breaks, it breaks. I'll put a new set of straps and bolts on anyway. So see if this works. Not quite ready to come out of the hole yet. Well, other than getting a big stinky nasty shower, a rust shower, I guess I gotta go get some vice grips. All right. We went ahead and got some safety glasses too while we was at it. All right. Let's see if we can do this now. Maybe. Maybe. Oh. Let's go a little bit tighter. Doing nothing but getting all this crap all over my back. Alrighty. There we go, maybe. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see if we can get some motion going here. We got movement. It ain't liking it, but we got movement. Let's see, that might be enough to come over top now. Let's see. Oh yeah, perfect. Now we'll set that there. Because I forgot, when you're going to take a gas tank out, you need to remember that you got to undo the filler neck. So let's go do that. All right, so we got the first side ready. Now let's go to this side here, see if we can get it loose. And I got that neck undone up there just to realize that it slides in down here somewhere. Yeah. Let's go ahead and pop that guy there out. There we go. Phew. See. If I can get this one with the gun, guys. Let's find out. We're close. You're getting a shower and rust. Let's see here. Ooh, that's that. There we go. All right, so we got the gas tank out, and yeah, it's wonderful. We got to pull that sending unit out, and go from there. See if I can't find me another suitcase tank like this. And yeah. Now, I do know, look at there. It had holes in the top of it too, so yeah, this tank was in bad shape, guys. And of course I knocked a couple holes into it. Can't see that sending unit, but I'm pretty sure it's awful. Well, considering the whole inside of the tank is rust, I guess you can't really see that. But anyway, so we'll move this off to the side over here, because there ain't no saving that. And then we're gonna add horsepower with a Sawzall. Now, we're gonna cut the muffler off of it, because that thing there is all beat to pieces. It's gonna go over there in that pile too. And before this thing hits the road, we will be putting a exhaust system on it. But as for right now, we're just gonna cut that pipe right there and get that muffler out, throw it over there in the scrap pile so it can go, and get it out of the way. Okay? So hang tight. All right. There's nothing or something. Who really knows? Not I. But here's the horsepower, or Sawzall horsepower. Okay. We're gonna do something about that. Look at that, it didn't even try and fight, guys. Okay. Somebody had that Zeus up there. All right, guys. Let's see how the Sawzall horsepower sounds. See if we can fire this beast up. See if she'll crank this morning. I got the brakes working, but yeah, they still want to go down real low whenever I crank it up. So I'm pretty certain the booster's bad. Huh. Ironically, sounds about the same. Except a little more peppy, maybe. That's that busted exhaust pipe doing its thing. But it works. It's a good running car, guys. Check out that dash. All right, everybody, we back. It's the next day. We got the Mercury off the lift. It sounds better. The brakes work. There's that. And now we've got Rory up on the lift. My 69 GMC two colored deal. Yeah, I'll show you some more about the paint in a minute. I painted the body and the bed caps. Somebody else painted those fenders and those fenders that I now have to repaint. And I've got to do quite a bit of touch up. This truck's been actually setting. You can see the clear coat actually looks good on both of them. That's just a darker color. So seems to be a thing with me, is being darker colors. Anyway, so yeah, I'm probably not going to touch the rear fenders, but I will end up painting the whole front end of this truck to match the rest of it, because it's the same on both sides. Go over here so you can see this side. It's the same exact way. See? So I mean, it's a uniform color all the way around. But anyway, but that's not what we're messing with right now. Before this truck needs to look good, it needs to drive good. It runs great. I tried to kill that engine in there. It was in my Camaro, and I was spraying a 250 shot of nitrous on it on a not built very well engine. And it still lives. You tell me. Like, after I would spray that engine, it was like it was locked up because the ring lands was connected, and it would lock the motor up until it cooled off, and then once it cooled off, it'd run fine again. I'm sure them piston walls are all marred up. Like, that engine was intentionally going to be blown up. But yet, when I got this truck, I needed an engine for it, so I pulled the engine out of my Camaro and threw it in here. So it no longer has nitrous on it, and it's been running really good for several years. I probably have had this truck 7 or 8 years. But anyway, it's 4-wheel drum brakes, all manual brakes, nothing fancy. So we're going to get it up in the air. We're going to get these front wheels pulled off. We're going to check the bearings and all that. Just check over everything to make sure it's all good, because I really want to start driving this thing. So let's get started. Right, so making a long story short here, the blue truck did not need the wheel bearings packed. They were good. The brakes were still good. All the lines were still good. We simply had to change out the front tires, and I don't even bother videoing that crap because it's a pain. So yeah, now we're going to get back on the center console. I've got to bend a piece of metal. Now, if you look right here, you'll see I've got a sloop down right there. I've got a old raggedy socket here, which is ironically the same round flow as that. Now, am I going to put that inside there? No. But this socket is no good. The teeth are stripped out on the inside and everything else. So this is why I hold on to stuff like this. Just like this busted ratchet right here. It sounds like it works until you put pressure on it and the teeth strip out. And this is a Blue Hawk. So either A, I can weld this socket to the handle of this ratchet so it'll hold in that vise right there, or I can put it on that piece of flat or square channel. Probably gonna just weld it to the square channel so that way it can hold like that, so I can pound my metal over the top of it. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan. Let's get at it. Like that, a new tool is made. I don't know if I got it. I don't know if I can charge enough hours for the making of that tool. Took a whole whopping, I don't know, 2 minutes. For any of y'all questioning my weldability, I mean, I'm doing that with a flux cord wire. There you go. You reckon that's connected? Like I say, I do all my stuff with flux cord because paying for gas to put spot welds on is stupid. Granted, it makes it look like crap when you're spot welding, but when you get done and clean it all up, guess what? It's not bad. So anyway, so there's my new tool. Keep it locked in the vise for what I got to do. So let's take this square, mark 1 inch, and then start working it. So we'll do that. Yeah. That's 1 inch from there to there. From there to there. So what we'll do is we'll mark down 1 inch. Let me back this stupid camera out. We'll mark 1 inch from here down, and that's where we'll start our bend. And we'll go 1/2 inch from there on, and we're only trying to bend up to about a 80 degree. You don't need a whole 90, you only need about an 80 degree. Of course, we have this as our template. Tell me that ain't right, I'll tell you you're wrong. But guys, everybody does things a little bit differently. This is how I do it. If you don't like it, then okay, you don't have to like it. I'm not asking you to like it. Okay? Okay. All right, so I got to have a place to park the blue truck at, and I do not want to park it back down the hill because all I need to do is wash it and it can start being driven some more, right? The Mercury, on the other hand, still has a long ways to go. So I think what we're going to do is roll the window down. We're going to fire this beast up and we're going to take it back down the hill. So let's go for a drive in it. All right, get the old keys out. This car does in fact have all the ignition sticks. It's got a pretty blue one that matches the car, but here's the factory Mercury that still has the man's head on it. Can somebody tell me what the man's head is with the 3 swords or whatever? I am kind of curious to know what that is. Not a bad running car for it to be as old as it is. All right. Take us a little swipe this way. Feel like I'm driving a Medea mobile. Yeah, I still got quite a bit of work to do to this car. Uh-oh. See what I mean? Let's whip her in here. Make sure I don't take out my jet ski. Boy, she does sound pretty mean though, don't she? Yeah, I think we're good enough. See if she'll fire back up. I mean, guys, there's your proof right there. I'm not a Ford fan, but they did good on this one. Oh, I love this car. I know it needs a lot of work, but I love this car. Perfect shot. 22 feet. Oh, 26 feet. I don't know. She's long, low, and slow. But she's got torque. All right, now let's go move old Blue. Now, guys, I have no intentions of selling that car. I just found one of my flashlights. Still has charge on it. I'll be dipped. Huh. I wonder if the other one's under there too. I had to order new ones of these because I lost them. Oh, Lordy. That's hilarious. Anyway, I'm gonna take a walk up this way to see if it don't pop up somewhere. Anyway, So I have no real intentions of selling that car. But if anybody on here, yep, there's gas tank strap. Put it over here. If anybody on here is interested in it, you can email me at bellbryan175@gmail.com and make an offer. That being said, don't think I'm trying to give it away, but also don't think I'm trying to ask $1 million for it either. Fact is if somebody's interested in it, I will gladly sell it for what I have in it. Maybe a little profit, but nothing major. Okay. I was going to drive this truck to go get my little girl from school, but this one runs good too. Smokes a little bit.
In fact, scripture actually says over and over again, the whole message of the cross.
Listening to Joe Rogan here.
It's foolishness. I mean, seriously? Some dude died on a cross? What does that represent to man? That represents weakness. That represents defeat. That represents death. Yeah. You're gone. The message of
still
the
runs
cross
like that, though.
is foolishness to man. We will never choose to believe.
My little girl's going to be excited when we get to take this out.
What we call the gospel, that is that Jesus Christ died on the cross according to the scriptures. He was buried and that he rose again.
There we go.
By his own power according to the scriptures. That's foolish.
There's that. Put that key in the same place as the other one. Anyway, guys, this truck is not for sale. Oh, I got close. Here, I'll take that door shuts too. This truck is not for sale, but if you are interested in the Mercury, please feel free to let me know. Email me. Message me on one of the socials. I'm on all of them. Nah, that one shut too good. There we go. Anyway, yeah. All right. Back to the center console, but it's gonna be a minute because I have to go get her. So I'll see y'all later. Stuff up. This is too cool. So I'm at my morning coffee stop as per usual, and somebody left their phone here. We're gonna do some investigating and figure it out. But when you bring it up to try and figure out whose phone it is and turn it on, that's what pops up. Oh crap, it went dark. Hang on. Click YouTube. There's subscribers. That's awesome. Now we gotta figure out whose phone it is. All right, guys, so we got the alternator wired up on the blue truck in the right place, on the right side, and all that jazz. Now this big old gas tank's in my way, but now we've got a 2017 Nissan Altima up on the lift that you can't see because it's behind that. That we are changing transmission fluid in it, doing a service on it, because it's a CVT transmission. Yay. And it's got that whine to it, and we're gonna fix it. Well, we're gonna attempt to fix it. There's no real fixing it without changing the transmission again. And apparently this is the second transmission on this car. So, you know what, we gotta do something else here too. So, actually I need to raise the front of the car up just a hair, which means I gotta lower the lift just a hair. But anyway, so we gotta pull this pan and get the filter out. Actually, it's got a drain plug on it, but it don't matter, we gotta pull it out anyway. So, let's get after it. From what little bits you can see, we've got it draining, and it does not look like transmission fluid, but I guess that's because it's CVT. Shoot, it's brown. water. Look. Crap. Try this again. It's like, looks like motor oil, but that's the oil pan. So, anyway, we're just letting it drain into this pan here. And I'm gonna start taking the 10mm bolts out. So hang tight. All right, so we got the transmission pan off. It's down there with the filter. Got the new filter and everything over there. And yeah, all that in there don't look too horrible, but I mean, I'm no transmission expert either. I mean, not at all. The fluid in there is what it is. But what's concerning is you can see on that magnet, on the magnets right there. Just take a rag here and just wipe one of them. That's all sludge. So, but I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, I don't know if that's bad on a Nissan or not. I have no clue. Have no idea. So, good Lord. The filter, who knows, guys. Here, we've seen the top side of it. I mean, I've seen worse, but that's definitely gray, so who knows? But we're going to change it. The thing that I was paying attention to said you have to change the transmission fluid in these things every 40 to 50,000 miles, so that's what they got to start doing. Yeah, you can see the stain on my finger now. Anyway, I want to ask why I don't work on new cars. I'm fixing to show you because this is just plumb stupid. I mean, the place to fill the transmission up is way down there. So you got to put a little bitty funnel down there because none of the rest of them will reach. So you got to put a little funnel down there, and then you got to use the big funnel through here to get it to drop into that funnel. This is the fun that I'm dealing with. And if you pour too fast, it overflows that funnel. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be here for like an hour putting in 4 more quarts. All right, guys, it's the end of the day. Let me clean this camera. That's better. So it's the end of the day. We've had dinner. Wife's home. Baby's home. She had a good day at school. And the little Nissan is gone. But, dun, dun, dun. Okay. Harley Quinn is back. But that is solely so we can wet sand and buff it. That's it. Clean it up some, wet sand and buff it, polish the truck, put the pinstripes on it. And I got to check a vacuum leak on it. But that's it. Now granted, that's still going to take a bit of time. So we'll get Harley Quinn done somewhere in the next couple videos. We're finishing up the center console on Nanner Hammock. And I still have, you can barely see it, but I still have Rory on the lift over there. So, hopefully soon we'll be getting on to this guy. Yep. I don't know, somebody might can answer this for me. I've got a boat motor down there in that boat. And it's a Chevrolet, well, it's a Mercruiser, but it's a Chevrolet 4-cylinder. 180 horsepower, 2.1 liter. Now, I know that's more than ever went in one of these little cars, right? But it's still a little 4-cylinder. You hear the cows, you hear the coyotes next. I know it's more than what ever came in that car, because that car came with a 1600 cc, so a 1.6 liter basically. And I would like to go back with the original, but that's most likely not going to happen. So we're probably going to pull that little 4-cylinder out of the boat down there and put it in it if we can make it to the transmission. If not, I'll have to find me a transmission out of like a 3rd gen, 2nd gen, 3rd gen Camaro. Probably a 3rd gen Camaro with a V6, because the little metric automatic transmissions that was in those Camaros is what'll bolt straight up to that engine. Little 2.8. So the 2.1 4-cylinder and the 2.8 V6 is the same bell housing. So I can use transmission out of one of them Camaros or one of any of those little V6 cars from back in the 80s, 82, 83. And I know they're not rated for a lot of power, but we're not trying to put a ton of power in that car. That's my wife's car. And I really want her to be able to drive it before her birthday, which is in March of next year. So maybe somebody can help me out with that. I would love more than anything to put the little Triumph motor back in it, just for her to learn how to drive a standard. Once she learns, then I will fab up and I will put that other engine in it. But until she learns, I'd much rather keep it stock, so that way when I have to replace the clutch, it's more obtainable. But anyway, so if anybody has a line on one of those, let me know. Anyhow, so we did some work on Rory today. Come on, Rory. We did some work on Rory today, the 69 GMC. And where that truck initially had an inline 6-cylinder in it, it put the alternator bin on the wrong side. Put the alternator on the driver's side, which would have put the power steering pump on the passenger side. Well, we didn't want that. So I got the alternator mounted over here. Of course, the bracket I had for the top was not right, so I had to make that bar, which still has about a 1/2 inch of slide in it, but the belt's good and tight, everything works right. And then we ran all our wires from over here and then made another harness to go back over to this side. And yeah, everything works. We're charging 14.2 volts up to 14.7. Now, that being said, I want to put the power steering pump back on this side where it goes, and I don't have the bracketry for it, so I'm going to have to figure that out. And also I have to inset it far enough so it will reach the back side of the aluminum pulley down there. So that's what we still have to do with this. Now granted, I can still drive the truck just like it is, because you can see I got the power steering lines looped together. They've been that way for years. But I really want to put the power steering back on this truck. So we're going to piddle with that until I get enough of it, and then we'll put it back up for a while. So they probably won't get on here this video. And for anybody wondering, yes, that's my little Holley Contender intake with a 2-inch Circle Track spacer under it, and a Holley 750 on top of that. This engine is in fact a 355, but it's just swirl port heads, nothing fancy. But it is a roller motor, so figure that one out. I've got it choked down with them ram horn style GM manifolds. Those are like 1st generation Corvette headers. They worked great for the vehicles back then. They suck now. But it's still running factory Z-bar. It's still running manual brakes. It's still running 4-wheel drum brakes. But it does everything it's supposed to. I've got the heater core loop back because that heater core leaks somewhere. I don't know where. I put it under pressure and everything and could not find it. I'm assuming it probably leaks from a tank somewhere. But that's some of the stuff that has to be done to this, along with repainting it. Y'all remember just a couple of years ago, I had this truck painted. But you can see how the paint's already coming off. Yeah, and that was done by a professional, not me. So, I guess you get what you pay for, right? I didn't pay $10,000 for this paint job. So I guess I didn't get $10,000. Look at that. Look at that. That's grade A paintwork there. That is awful. Anyway, So when I get done painting it, the fenders and all that will match the doors. I did paint the doors. I painted the body of the truck and the back of it, and my neighbor painted the front of it. That's why it's two different colors. So anyway, so that's that. We'll get to it when we get to it. I promise it ain't gonna happen a minute sooner. I don't even think I'm gonna pull the fenders off. We did put the bumper back on it yesterday. I say we, I did. I put the bumper back on it yesterday. So it was there, but probably take it back off, I don't know. But we still got work to do on this. So we'll get to it when we do. Big old fat meats on the back and the skinnies on the front. But that's where we're at, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow.